Greetings to everyone who has signed up for our webcast today. This is the third in our series of the KTN training webcast events. It is super excited to review the attendee list, even for a very specialized topic such as today, which is maximizing sales and service through textual communications. We have 255 attendees. And I was just going over with Julia, our marketing coordinator, the names and some of the locations, and oh, I see so many familiar faces. It is just wonderful to see the same people turning out again and again. We have almost every continent represented here today. A few shout outs. Shaida, Hotel Singapore, thank you. I hope you're watching this on recording because I think it's a 12-hour time difference. Sarah, Movenpick, Beirut, Lebanon, I would love to visit you. I've never been to Lebanon. McLinda from Kenya, another thing on my bucket list. So if you need any on-site training, I'd love to come over and see you. A lot of our clients from prestige hotels up in mostly British Columbia, I think a few, and also Alberta. And great to see all of you. And Jen at Weekenda over in Australia. Tell Pete I said hello. And so many of you that have been with us from the beginning, I would love to hear from you. If you are watching this as a group, we would love to see a group photo. I know a lot of people are actually watching this in kind of a lunch and learn situation. Take a picture, send it to us. Yeah, my email is at the end if you don't already have it, or post it on LinkedIn and tag us. We would love to know that you're out there. It really makes my job a lot easier instead of presenting just to, an inanimate object such as a webcam. Let's get started in today's topic. I want to thank our sponsors at Track Hospitality Software. That's very relevant to today's discussion. We're going to talk about retargeting of voice leads as one of many tools for textual selling. Travel Outlook, John Smallwood and team, super excited to have you. If you're looking for a hotel reservations call center support, that's the one you want to call. Only one certified by Kennedy Training Network, meaning we actually call score them every month, and their scores are routinely in the 90s. If you're one of our mystery shopping clients or clients for our remote call scoring, that's saying a lot. Steve Trover and team, Better Talent, we are grateful for you as well. So textual communications, first a bit about Kennedy Training Network. We're based in Miami, so we're coming to you from Florida East Coast time. We do training around the world and only in lodging and only in certain topic areas. Hospitality, which was our topic 2 months ago and is coming up again next month. We'll be looking at a hospitality training called Bringing Out the Best in Others Brings Out the Best in Ourselves. Actually, a little hint there, we'll be talking about my brand new article posted yesterday about a new word, kamamuta. We do reservation sales training, which is today's topic. We teach front desk hospitality for hotels. We treat hotel-wide hospitality for all lodging companies, and then some specialized areas. I also do conference speaking. Today's topic will be about more in the reservations realm of textual selling. If you are in group sales, event sales from a hotel or resort, please stay tuned for July. We hope you sign up for this one. It's about how hotel salespeople can proactively generate more revenue. And of course, in today's world, we hope to get people on the telephone, but a lot of it does also include communicating through textual exchanges. So although the context will be slightly different today, we hope that you'll still want to stay tuned for today, and you'll get a lot of the concepts that do apply. But come back and see us in July. We have a topic just for you. So some textual selling opportunities are very obvious. Now we know these. They come to us in direct emails such as reservations@yourcompany or hotelname.com or info@ or sales@. We, through that email, generic email address, we get inquiries about small group travel, not necessarily to go to at a hotel, a group sales team, which is usually 10 rooms or more, but maybe 2, 3, 4 rooms. In a vacation rental industry, it might be multiple accommodations. They want to find homes that are close to each other or condominiums in the same building or floor. People with special needs, people with elderly who have questions about access. How many stairs exactly? Somebody can go upstairs, just not too many. I remember my father in his latter years, you know, once you got him up, he would be great, but those knees were not too good. So stairs were killer. He could do 2 or 3, but not a whole flight. Also, any other kind of special needs people have, you know, it's not just physical needs, it's also dietary needs, dietary restrictions, allergies to chemicals, special bedding requirements. So all of these are kind of direct opportunities, and they may present as someone that's thinking about making a reservation. There's a lot more subtle textual sales opportunities that we may not realize. These come through for the vacation rental industry. These come through as in-app messages, meaning in the platform of Vrbo or Airbnb. Now, if you are a vacation rental company, you know that it's a closed platform and you can only communicate to the guest back to that platform. They have algorithms that will find out if you type in a phone number, or if you, it's funny, I know a lot of you tried to spell out the phone number. That worked for a while. But I guess the latest thing, and not that I'm suggesting this, you can like spell out the phone number but misspell or leave out the vowels. But really, we just have to understand and respect the platform. Okay, some people are going to book on these. On Vrbo, a lot of times they can go to the property manager, see the name of the company, Google search you. On Airbnb, people might see a home, and if you're smart, you've listed the name of the home in a way, a unique name of the home, not just unit 501CA, but some guests Google search that, and that might lead them back to your website. But back to the topic at hand, people message us in app. This is a sales opportunity. We're going to talk specifically about how to respond in a way to ensure that they pick us. Now, we also have traditional hotels for you, Expedia, Booking.com. A lot of guests book now, but they select the book now, pay later option, and then they send us questions after they book. So they snag that reservation knowing they can book now, pay later and cancel up until a certain date. Now you might think, well, Doug, that's not a sales opportunity. They've already booked. Please consider this fact. This is the latest data I could find. 2022 state of hotel cancellations on OTA. I want to credit Alora AI for this slide. 1 in 5, and that seems to be a number that I saw from pre-COVID statistics, maybe even a little higher. 1 in 5, 20% of hotel bookings made through an OTA cancel before they get to you. Now, this was written last year. It's funny, it must be around the same time. It's the summer months where we see cancellations occur the most. And here it is, May 12th. So people book, they send us a question. That's a sales opportunity. It's a sales opportunity to keep the sale, all right? So many of these leads that come in through textual channels are in disguise. They're disguised as quick questions. You know, years ago, people would call up and say, hi, I'm thinking about making a reservation. Will you give me the rates? We even talked about this in webcast 1 for those of you who joined us last March. The voice lead also presents in disguise. I didn't have this clever picture back then. I thought this was perfect, right? An actual disguise. I think I had that when I was a kid from the Johnson Smith Company. Anybody remember the Johnson Smith Company for the little novelties you would buy? But in voice, they say, I just have a quick question. But also, they're emailing us, they're chatting, they're in-app messaging us questions such as these. Hi, I just have a quick question about parking. Not that I ever want to stay there. I'm just curious, how many cars can you park? I have a question about an amenity or service, either in the hotel, in the resort, or in the vacation rental condo building, or in the vacation rental development where your homes are. I have a question about a policy or a procedure. This says a maximum of 5 people in the accommodation. Is a baby a person? Yeah. So of course, then you say, oh yes, babies, no, that's okay. And then you say, how old is your baby? My baby's 14, 21. Yeah, they're a person, okay. Fees. They try to get out of the fee. They have traveled all around the world, but they have never paid this fee. They've never paid a hotel fee. They have never paid a resort fee. They've never paid a booking fee, a housekeeping fee. But okay, well, we'll pay it anyway. They're just testing you. They're testing to see if you will waive it. And then, of course, restrictions, early check-in, late check-out, age requirements. You know, it says here you have to be 25 in Gulf Shores, Alabama to rent a condo. I guess they have all those Southeastern US, Southeastern Conference schools. Okay, I went to one. Must be a lot of partiers because they're not real fun to rent to 24 years or younger. But, you know, we're really nice. We don't party at all. Nobody drinks alcohol. We're not loud. We will not hang our towels over the balcony. We will not drop sand. We will not throw beer bottles out the windows. We promise. Yeah. Can you rent to us? So these are quick questions we get. Now, I'm not saying you want to convert the 24-year-old in Gulf Shores, Alabama to a booking, but a lot of people email us with quick questions, and that is actually a lead, okay? So we're gonna cover what to do with that. Now, if you've not been trained yet, chances are what's happening is you're going to simply respond with answers to those questions. This webcast is gonna cover ways that you can stand out from all the others they're messaging. Because if you think they're only messaging you, think again, okay? In today's world, people can be multi-channel surfing all at once. And then finally, we will look at proactively offering to send follow-up emails to voice callers who are interested, but not yet ready. So this is the realm we're going to cover in our remaining 25 minutes together. Besides increasing sales, as you saw from the topic title and description, these skills also help us create positive first impressions for all guests. Even if they do have an existing reservation, they're not even dreaming of canceling, but they message us. We still want to reply in a heartfelt way. We're going to make that recipient smile. Ultimately, even if that's through an OTA channel, ultimately, it's going to build our brand because they're going to associate the correspondence and make that connection. Now, years ago, we had conversations galore with guests. We would talk to them more often. Now, a lot of it is self-serve. People find out directions on their own. People find out transportation options on their own. People find out rules, policies, procedures. But it's one of the few times that we have left compared to years ago, not that many years ago for me, that we still have a chance to make a human connection. All right, so my theme today on all the subsets of the topics that I just gave you the overview of, don't be anonymous. Don't be generic. Put a human face behind that mask. Use your personalities, the same personalities that you are awesome at in phone conversations. Be the same way in writing, okay? It's not like texting our friend. It's not like emailing your coworker. In those, you're going to be really brief. You're going to be really short. With our guests and our potential guests, we want to be personalized. Don't be generic. All right. So for all textual communications, a few reminders. Always, always, always use a greeting, and always, always, always introduce yourself as being in-house, local, or a direct contact. I say that many different ways. If you're in-house, that means you're actually in the house. That doesn't mean in the actual rental house, but it means you're in the hotel. We call the hotel the house, in-house. Funny, we don't say outhouse, but in-house reservations, local reservation. You actually might work remote now. Even before COVID, more and more reservations, people work remote. You might be actually in a different city. You might actually be in a different continent. And don't volunteer that though, because you're still direct reservations. So you can say, greetings, this is Doug from direct reservations for Brand X company or hotel, right? And then comment or restate on something they've shared, okay? It is wonderful to hear from you. We're glad to hear about something. Let me give you an example. Hello, Martin. This is Doug from In-House Reservations. Since you're bringing your wife here for her birthday, I would definitely suggest. All right. So this started out like, hi, I'm bringing my wife for her birthday. Do you think the view room is worth it? Okay. Or which is better, the partial view or the full view? Martin, this is Doug from In-House Reservations. Since you're bringing your wife for her birthday, I would definitely suggest the view room in the package. And I would suggest we can set you up through our concierge services to have flowers, champagne. Does your wife like chocolate strawberries? We can have those in the room. Okay, so don't be anonymous here. Don't be generic. Make it personal. Always introduce yourself. Now, some of you aren't going to like this. Include your headshot. There, I said it. Now, in my classes, I read body language. A lot of people go, I don't want to, and I'm like at the break, or maybe sometimes right then if I feel comfortable, you know, I don't want to put them on the spot. I'm like, why don't you want to include your headshot? Okay, I don't experience it myself, but I'm sure there are some weirdos out there that will, you know, maybe you don't want to disclose your actual headshot. Fine. Go to shutterstock.com and buy a headshot and be someone else at work. Okay? Now, I'm kind of joking here, but it's entirely possible, at least, and that way you can be whatever you want to be. If you're older like me, you can be younger. If you're super young and you get tired of being discredited for age bias, you can be a little bit older. Okay, you can be better looking. You can have more hair. Maybe I should do this myself. But, you know, get a headshot really, really, really is your personality. Okay, they're going to meet you anyway when they come there many times. If it's a shared inbox, how about a picture of your entire reservations team together? We are in-house reservations. We are local area experts, and they see you. This personalizes it. Include your direct phone numbers if you have one, or at least your direct extension numbers. Now, again, some of you have individual email addresses because you work in an office that perhaps is set up that way. So you have your own Doug at company name, your own extension number. Some of you are using a unified inbox like Track, or you're using a shared inbox in a Gmail Outlook situation. In that case, put a picture of the team. But even if you're using a generic reply, still say, hi, this is Doug with the in-house reservation team. And then, you know, at the end, anyone here can help you. We're monitoring this box 24 hours. All right, now, how do we find out if those quick questions are actually sales leads? When responding to those questions that arrive by email, encourage them to book directly, okay? So answer the question about parking, or the kiddie pool, or that yes, the 5-month-old baby can stay past the room capacity, but the 15-year-old baby, there's no. But let me know if I can check dates and help you finalize plans. You can also reach us directly. Again, I realize this does not work at Airbnb, but and perhaps some of the other in-app message exchange portals are limited. They don't want you to take the sale off platform. However, direct emails, chat, we can definitely do this in those cases. All right, so let's try to use tech to touch. Major theme of Doug Kennedy training. Now, when responding to the in-app messages, again, most OTAs won't let us reply with the phone number, but we can still offer personalized assistance. So now we're speaking particularly to Airbnb, which polices this the most. You cannot say, give us a call, anyone can help you, call us at this number, email me back. But what you can do, what no other hosts do, what very few other hosts do, is add to your message, yes, there's parking spaces for 2 vehicles. If you need extra parking, we will help you find that. Let us know, and let us know what other questions or special needs you might have, because I am right here with in-house, on-site, or local reservations. I would be happy to assist you. That's how you put personalization into even an in-app message exchange. If you're still on hotel salespeople, wedding salespeople, we'll be talking about this in 2 months. The context will be the Knot, Wedding Wire, Cvent, the CVB websites where you have to reply in app, but you can still personalize it. Moving on. Always, 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 for all inbound messages, express interest in hosting. I do this every time when I do most of my sales meetings on Zoom. I see a lot of clients out there. You know I do this because at the end of every Zoom meeting, I look right into the camera and say, let me know what we can do to win this opportunity. Let me know what we can do to win you as the next Kennedy Training Network client. Same thing in writing. I do the same thing in writing. Send me an inquiry. I'll respond within 24 hours. And I promise you, I say this in every email. We would be delighted to have you as our guest. I say we'd be super excited to welcome you as a client. That means something in today's world. Other people are not doing this, particularly in the realms we're talking about today. Now, you really, really, really want to be good, create a task list. Okay, if you have Track, and I want to give a shout out, we have clients on Revenue, we have clients on different systems, Navis, Revenue. We of course are a little biased to Track because you sponsor us, but they have task lists. These systems are fantastic. Maybe you're using Salesforce, HubSpot. We're going to talk in a minute. Use Excel, okay? Or use the good old-fashioned notepad. I don't want to show you my messy handwriting. Notepad, all right? You're not going to have that many from the previous couple of days. Just put leads from Monday, boom, 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 all right? These are the ones you went into. Then a couple of days pass, go back to Monday's list, log in, follow up, go back into the app. If it's a closed app, send a follow-up message. We'll be giving more on this later when we talk about being a sales hunter. Let's move on to the subject of chat. Now, I don't want to lose anyone here because maybe you don't have chat, but I bet you'll get it eventually. And if you do have it, you'll probably have an AI-powered chat that will answer the basic questions, but either you will jump in as a live person and monitor it, or you will read the chat log later. The companies that really do this well answer their chat with live people where possible. As a guest, if I just click a chat and it leads me back to the FAQs, that's already where I started. You think I don't know how to go to FAQs? That's not really helping me as a customer. But either way, we can use chat to sell and service, to make better connections, to capture more sales, all right? Now, some guests use click to chat for very basic questions regarding servicing an existing reservation or to make a special request. Okay, so this is fantastic because we can multitask while we're on with a reservation call and the guest says, oh, hold on, I got to go get my credit card. Like they never thought to get their credit card before they called, and now you hear them walking across the floor and the guy's asking his wife, honey, can I have the card? And she's digging through her pocketbook. You can actually answer a chat, okay? Or you can, while you're waiting for the next call to ring, you can click over to chat. It doesn't have to be instantaneous as long as we monitor it. You can answer questions like these in chat, okay? Still think you should say, hi, this is Doug with In-House Reservations, and you can then answer, okay? And then you add to that, we look forward to having you as our guests. You can keep those in a clipboard somewhere, copy and paste. Instead of saying, hi, this is Doug with In-House Reservations, and we look forward to having you as our guest. Copy and paste it somewhere. My spouse is arriving early. Can they check in without me? We know the rules on that. Hotels, you especially know the rules on that, okay? We need to add their name to the reservation, and you as the guest with the confirmation number and the credit card you booked to need to do that, okay? Unfortunately, hoteliers, we've all had it happen when, well, I've had it happen with the wife. I'm sure it's happened with the husband, but you know, the wife showed up. This goes back several decades when I managed a hotel front office, and a very nice lady said, oh, hello, my husband is staying here on business and I've come to surprise him. Can I have a key to the room? Can I be there waiting? And oh, what a nice thing. And she was there waiting, and you can guess the rest of that story. This is a question though people will ask, hopefully legitimately, hopefully not when someone's spoofing their spouse, but we know what to do. Do you have a crib for my baby? All right. Airlines are charging for a lot for the first carry-on, a lot more for the second, and even more for the third. Then they get the tape measure out to see the actual dimensions of that crib. You know, we used to travel with a pack and play when my kids were young, a couple of decades ago. But, you know, do you have a crib for the baby? They might have questions about that crib, you know, safety issues. How much approval are you going to hold on my credit card, especially for those people paying with debits? So you know that you're going to get questions through chat. That's fantastic. Keep answering them. However, as I said, I already said this, be sure to use those personalized responses we covered to make those authentic connections. And again, you can copy and paste them, but okay, if you have any other questions, I'm Doug with In-House Reservations. We look forward to meeting you. Looking forward to having you. Once again, you know, that's a question to service a reservation. That does not mean they're not going to cancel. So great service helps eliminate what I call slippage, or attrition is what revenue people call it. And it also creates a positive first impression for your brand. All right. Now, other guests, it's funny because I get to see when we go to do training on site, we do training on the voice selling and we do training on the textual selling. To me, the textual training is very interesting because we can actually read chat logs. I believe we may have Condo World here. I actually sat with Ben Clyburn. Hi, Ben. You actually sat with me and we read it together. Ben is the CEO, by the way, and we found very interesting things in your chat logs. You will see people do send complex questions. When you get these questions, you want to handle it this way. For other clients, you know, I see this again and again. Again, sometimes they're service questions, but make sure that we're personalized. Give you an example. I was out in San Diego and I was training a resort client out there. Someone had messaged in with a question just like this about planning booking a reservation. Their daughter was coming back from US Navy deployment. She'd been on a long deployment. I don't know if she was sub-base, which are the longest deployments, or aircraft carrier, but she'd been gone a long time. I don't remember the specifics. We're looking forward to seeing her. We had a question about connecting rooms. They replied back, okay, yes, we can get you connecting rooms. What a lost opportunity. What a lost opportunity to say, oh, wow, I bet you're super excited. Tell your daughter we appreciate her service. Something, but they were a generic mask. They might as well be a chatbot. Yes, we can request a connecting rooms. We can request it, but we cannot guarantee it, right? So here's the questions we get. What is the difference between room categories? You know, when people compare the room categories on an OTA, like a Booking or an Expedia, it might actually show up as different room type names. It definitely might show up as different booking options. They call it prepay, and they have their own terminology, as you know. So people text us and they ask questions. What location do you recommend for families if you're a resort that has multiple buildings, or a vacation home rental company and your vacation homes run 15 miles from one point to the other, or 30 kilometers? We're trying to decide between coming there and a cruise, so I'm wondering, what is there to do besides the beach? Okay, you can look at my tan. You can tell I'm not a beach person. I actually will go to the beach this weekend, probably for the first time in Florida in probably about a year, because we have an out-of-town visitor. A lot of people are just not beach people. I'd love to go to the beach, but I don't want to be on the beach the whole time. So this one here, when you get these, I want you to imagine that chat is a chance for you to reach out and make a connection. It's a chance to grab that web surfing guest and make a connection. A lot of people click to chat. That does not mean they have no personality and they don't want to talk. Funny, I remember several clients do this. I hope we don't do this anymore, reservation managers. I had a client in I'll just say the Florida Panhandle. If I tell you the city, you'll know who it was. And they had a call center of about 10 reservationists. and they had 2 people on chat. And the people on chat, they said they were the ones that had no personalities, so they put them on chat. And I had these people in my class, and I had this slide up. I said, when a chat message comes in, try to call them. This is a great question. That's a great question about room categories, or a great question about activities beside the beach. Are you by chance by a phone? I can call you now. And I had these 2 people, I guess you could call them. And so they put them on chat, and I said, you should call. You should offer to call. And they said, oh, well, Doug, if they would have wanted to talk, they would have called us. Don't believe it. Why don't people want to call? They think they're going to go to a random call center far away that won't know anything. Why do they chat and not call? They think they're going to have to wait on hold 12 minutes, 15 minutes. They think they're going to reach someone who doesn't know, who's not there. But that doesn't mean they won't talk. So that's a great question. Are you by chance by a phone? I can give you a quick call right now. Guess what, team? You will save yourself time. It will be a lot less confusing. So turn chat into phone calls where possible. Now, the other thing is when the guest starts to seem upset, all caps is the textual version of yelling. All right. So text back, chat back. I feel like I can better assist you if I can speak with you directly. May I give you a brief call now? And now you have the person that says, yes, you can. And then the phone rings and they're like, oh, good afternoon, Stacy. This is Doug. How are you? And they turn nice on you because you made a connection. So chat is great for chatting, for quick service calls. Personalize it even in those situations. But look at it as a window to get that web surfing guest. How much does it cost to get someone to your website? I bet your marketing people know. Okay, first of all, there's pay-per-click ads, which might cost you $1, might cost you $5. Secondly, though, it's all the other money you spend to develop that website, all the other money you do to update that website, all the other money you spend to make it attractive and come up organically. When someone goes there and chats, let's not let them slip away. This is a big opportunity. Now, voice inquiries are the hottest leads. All right. So yes, chat is good. Textual exchanges are good. Direct emails are good. But when someone calls, the phone call is the most important thing. Okay. So yeah, I guess we just talked about this too. I'm getting ahead of myself. But organic and paid search, website development costs, also email campaigns. So if you're using MailChimp or Emma or Constant Contact or HubSpot, all the others, you're doing it through a higher level platform, there's cost to have that go out. As a result, people call in and that phone call rings. So hopefully we're going to book the reservation. We touched on that in March when we talked about asking more and better questions. We will be touching on that in future topics. In fact, we have one, a little hint. August is called Ring Ring Cha-ching. Phone calls are the biggest opportunity. We're going to look at how to close those and turn them into sales. But regardless of how hard we try, some callers are just not ready. No matter what we say, you can say, may I secure that for you? Well, I'm not ready. We can lock it in now. You can always call back to cancel if plans change. Still not ready. All right. And that is most likely to happen for a few different reasons, especially if an advance deposit is required. Okay. And so the more restrictive the rate, it's likely to happen. But here are some other reasons why callers may not be ready. They need to finalize their travel plans. All right. They need to, they are traveling with a large party, and therefore more people are involved in the decision making. And again, we touched on this one, restrictive cancellation and deposits. So if we try to secure the sale and we have been awesome and fantastic and they still don't want to try, but you can always cancel, no, still not ready. All right, thank you. We can give up, and we are left with them to have taken their notes to then put together an email to then send out to Aunt Jane and cousin Cindy and their best friends group or the other parents, and they have to do all the work. All right. that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about proactive follow-up, okay? So let's explain how this works. But in essence, in summary, the higher the rates, the longer the stay, the more people involved traveling in their party. But here's the real important one, ladies and gentlemen, the more emotionally involved they are, the more emotionally invested they are in their travel plans, the less likely they are to book during their initial phone call. So it is factored in by the more they're paying, the longer they're staying, and how many people. But even it's just the two of them, you know, if they're planning a honeymoon, or she is taking her wife away for a 10-year anniversary, or he is taking his husband away, or they're taking their parents away for their parents' 75th anniversary, then that's important. The more important it is, the first trip with the baby, the last trip before the kids go off to college, the more important it is, the more hesitant they are to book. It's a theme of our training. So what I want you all to think about is making a transition. I want you to transition from hunting, from fishing, I got that backwards, from fishing to hunting. Fishing is what most reservations people do now. We come to work every day, we're holding a fishing pole. That fishing pole has some line, and at the end of that line is a hook, and on the hook is our bait. Our bait is our website. Our bait is our paid Google ad. Our bait is our email blast. Our bait is our social media feed on somebody's Facebook, Instagram, Snap feed. And when somebody reacts, we reel them in, okay? And that's pretty good. If you want to get as much business as everyone else gets, do the same things everyone else does. Reel them in when they call, okay? But if you want to go to the next level, be a sales hunter, try to reel them in, but if that fish jumps off the hook, put on your orange hunting vest, go track them down. Now, this is good for business, but it's also good for your career. Have you all noticed AI is doing more and more and more? All right. Now, I like AI if I want to call and check my account balance or how much I owe on my phone, but by the way, on my mobile phone. But by the way, who does that? We just go online. But if I'm calling, I actually need a person. But I will tell you, ChatGPT is getting smarter every day. What can it do that we can't do? It cannot be a sales hunter, at least not in a personalized way. Oh, it can do a drip campaign where it sends out a series of targeted emails and it says my name. Dear Douglas, nice talking with you about your vacation in July. It used my name. Oh, it feels so warm and fuzzy. But that's all it can do. And to me, I find those annoying. You know you're on somebody's drip campaign because you get the same generic one and it doesn't feel personalized. What you're learning today in this section to be a sales hunter will be around long after I've retired. And ChatGPT has taken over a lot of the reservation tasks. Sales hunting will always be needed. This is a real skill and people are not learning it today. So shout out to Track. We love you, Track Hospitality Software. Track Pulse is their specific CRM. There's also Navis Revenate. There's other generic ones. But what all these do, they link a phone number and an email to a guest contact. So when a call comes in, if they're calling back, you have everything right there. You see the phone number, you see the messages from before. If it's a new guest, you fill in that, you put in the notes. I'll talk about that in a moment. It allows you to access a template and then add some personalized remarks and send it, and then put it on a task list or a lead stream. So you do all of this. Now, usually you would set your phone system so that at the end of a phone call, it puts you on, it's called make ready, or it called after call work of a 30, 45, 60-second wrap up time before your phone rings again. So it's wonderful to have Track Pulse. I hope you look at them, but you don't have to have it, okay? Maybe your boss won't approve it. Maybe you are the boss, you won't approve it, right? Maybe you don't see the value yet. Get in the game. Get in the game today. Please start this with your next call. If you do this and try this, please let me know how it works. And if you message me on LinkedIn and say, Doug, I tried it, it worked terribly, I can handle it, but I bet that won't happen. If you do tell me you tried it and it worked terribly with 10 callers, I will set up a Zoom with you to tweak how you're actually managing this. Because if you're managing it correctly, you will get from 3 to 5, maybe 6, up to 10 people you follow up with will book. Those are not my numbers. Those are numbers coming from TrackPulse. They're the same numbers I heard coming from Navis and Revenate years ago. So get in the game. Google Sheets are free. You probably have a Microsoft account. If you're in the Gmail world, Gmail world, go to Google Sheets. Make a column for guest name, phone number, email. But the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, what you can do that ChatGPT, what a drip campaign cannot do, add a field for notes, okay? And then add a column for a due date. And then when you come to work, sort that sheet by the due date, okay? Every time you talk to them and you have your next follow-up action, change the due date, and you just keep sorting the column of due dates, and you will always have your due dates, and you just follow up. We're not talking about 50 calls, we're talking about 5 or 10. You can have a significant impact on the revenues for your hotel, resort, vacation rental company, all right? Now, step number 1, I'm gonna walk you through the process here as we round the clock. Step number 1, use an assumptive approach to get that phone number. This is one of the reasons people try this and they come up to me at a conference, say, Doug, I heard you, I read your article, I tried it, it didn't work, okay? So do not say, all right, you want to book that reservation? No, not ready. We can lock it in now. Oh, still not ready. Okay. Do you want me to send you an email with my information? No. When someone in any job, anywhere, sales or service says, do you want, and I then hear the word email, I automatically say no. We're programmed that way, right? Home Depot, the supermarket, Walmart. Do you want to print or email? Neither. Right? Do you want me to send you an email? No. What I want you to do is ask this way. This is important. Take a screen capture, write it down. Let me just grab your email so I can send you my contact information. Big difference there. Small in wording, big difference. If you're a veteran of our KTN webcast, you hear me talk about this in a lot of different contexts. Do you want to book it? May I secure it for you? Do you want an email? May I just email? Let me grab your email address. You know where I got this from years ago? Being a server, or not that long ago, eating in a restaurant. Do you want dessert? No, watch my weight, don't need the extra calories. May I show you our dessert tray? Can I tell you about our desserts? See the difference? Bell staff say to me all the time, sir, do you need help with your bag? I'm looking at my bag. It's pretty small, okay? Do I look like the 98-pound weakling? No, I work out. Then they say, sir, let me grab your bag. Absolutely, you just got $5, buddy. All right, so let me grab your email address. Now, okay, Mr. Kennedy, I'm gonna send that over to you right now, and then I'm gonna reach out in a few days to see what else we can do to help you finalize plans. Is this a good phone number? I love yesterday, I called my insurance company. They didn't say, can I have a callback number? I feel like saying when people say that to me, like, duh, you have it, you have caller ID. But she said, Mr. Kennedy, is the best call number to reach you, is it end in 777? Yes, perfect. Okay. Now you just got permission to call. You see, small change in wording, big change in impact. The little things mean a lot. The subtle details, the nuances of sales will make you a successful sales hunter, not only in reservation sales, but in the profession of sales, which you are in. So now enter notes in your CRM system, your Track, your Navis, Revenate, or your spreadsheet. Abbreviate. Do not type out full sentences. This is not an English thesis for your teacher to grade. You know, do not say, I spoke with Douglas Kennedy. He is traveling to the beach with his first trip since his kids went off to college, okay? Do not do all that. Just put in there abbreviation. SW means spoke with. Type only those key facts. SW means spoke with. NI means not interested. FU, you all know what FU means. It means follow up. What were you thinking? And then select the appropriate and put in any other details that you have that you can type in there really quick at a glance. Okay. And then either when they call back in track and you have the little pop-up screen, or when they call back, you grab your Excel sheet and you can say, oh, yes, Mr. Kennedy, I hear you called back about your 25th anniversary and your first time was just you and your wife getting away. How wonderful. Okay. Now, what I want you to do after you've typed this in, I want you to then send a quick follow-up. If you have reservation systems that allow you to grab the search of the inventory that came up and forward that, that's great. Some of you, again, have TrackPulse. You can pull down a template. Marketing directors, reservation managers do not have 20 templates, all right, have maybe 5, but have one for your most common themes: small family reunion, traditional family, girls trip, whatever is appropriate for your sports team visitations, whatever is appropriate for your market. Weekend getaways, hotels, and in the first sentence, paraphrase and restate something you learn from those notes. Okay, so put in there just the first sentence or two. Dear Douglas, it was nice talking with you on the phone today. How excited to hear about your plans to surprise your wife for this trip for your 20th anniversary. Okay, and now they're going to go, oh, and they're going to feel a unique, warm, fuzzy feeling that well, maybe not just from this, but the more you have dialogue with them, they feel a unique, warm, heartfelt, fuzzy feeling, comma, muda. If you don't know what this word is, check out our LinkedIn, my article posted yesterday with that topic. Add a short sentence or two. It was great talking with you about your wife's trip for the wife's anniversary. I would definitely recommend the Ocean View Suite, and I would definitely recommend that we have an amenity delivered: champagne, flowers, chocolates, rose petals on the bed, candles, okay, something special, okay? And then I'm going to challenge you. If you want to get as much business as everyone else gets, do what everyone else does. Reel them in. If you want to get a little bit more business, send an email. If you want to get a lot more business, call. Guess what? They're probably not going to answer. You can leave a voicemail, a super friendly voicemail. And then you can actually put not a face, but a voice with an email. Like, who gets voicemails anymore? Almost nobody, right? But they're going to probably listen to it. I used to get, I don't know, 10, 15 voicemails a day. Rarely get one. And now someone actually cares enough to leave a voicemail and then reference something you learned from that original conversation in that voicemail. Make it heartfelt. Okay, that's all you got to do. Just wanted to check back with you to see what else we can do on our end to help you finalize your trip, your first trip with that baby. I remember the first trip with the baby. And so, again, keep it personalized. That's going to help you stand out from the competition. Now, I got to tell you this. Did a class in Gulf Shores 3 weeks ago, and I asked the team, they had just started making follow-up calls. I said, how's it going? How do you feel? They all looked at each other. I'm like, anybody a little nervous? Did anyone get a mean person yet? They're like, I got a mean person. I'm like, what happened? They said that if they wanted to talk, they'd call us. I'm like, oh, okay. You got to meet. How many calls you make? I made 20. How many mean people? 1. I said, okay. When people call you every day, how many calls do you take? 20 or 30? Do you ever get a mean person? Like 4 or 5. They're mean people, right? But you're also going to get the person that said, oh, thank you so much for calling. That was so sweet. Yeah. All right. Now, almost done. If we get a live person, okay, do not say, hi, is this Doug Kennedy? Did you get my email? That's an automatic no for me. When someone says, they call me and they ask me who I am, I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy Google Play cards and giving you the serial numbers. And remember, they're busy. And remember, they might even not think that they called about the anniversary trip. So briefly introduce yourself and say something specific about the original call. All right. So say, hello, it's Doug Kennedy from Brand X Resort or Vacations. And I just wanted to check back to see what else we can do on our end to help you finalize plans. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's webcast. So many familiar faces I see turning up again and again. It gives me Kamamuda to know that you're out there. Please do let us know. Join us on LinkedIn. Send us a group picture if you enjoyed today's class or even if you didn't, okay? But let us know, tag us on LinkedIn. We really love to make connections. You know, I used to hate doing webcasts because you cannot see, you cannot connect with the participants, but now with social media, we can. I want to thank you of the generosity to our sponsors. It takes a lot of planning to develop these. It takes a little bit of time to present them, but a lot more time in the planning, promotion. Julia, our marketing coordinator, does the heavy lifting on that. We could not do it without our sponsors, Travel Outlook, Better Stay. Please keep us in mind for on-site training, private webcam training, remote call scoring. Not only of voice calls, we also score textual message exchanges. We will score and coach how you're doing in your chat log. We will score and coach how you're doing in your email exchanges. We'd love to hear from you. We have Heart of Hospitality certification as well. I hope you join us next time. Visit KTN Webcast Hospitality Training next week. Next month, bring out the best in others, brings out the best in ourselves. Thank you again for joining us. I wish everybody a happy Friday. Unless you're in Australia, it's already Saturday, Jen. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you again in 1 month. Spread the word.